What's going on? It's Council Poly Rob. Welcome to another episode of the Poly Rob Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and all the information on how to support my channel is right here at the bottom. Let's get right into it. First things first, we not about to do this. Nope. We not about to do this. And if y'all know what I'm talking about Young Miami with the song of the summer. We not about to hate on Young Miami and the song of the summer, Spin That. We not about to do that. We're going to have this conversation, but we not about to hate on the song of the summer. Everybody know how the hook go, so I ain't got to repeat it. First things first, let's get this out the way. There was banter weeks ago, month and a half ago, of what was the official song of the summer. There were some people that chose two records. They chose two records. It came down to two records. It came down to Drake's Shebang. It came down to Drake's Shebang and Young Miami's Spin That. It came down to those two records. Now, over the course of a couple of weeks, there were arguments that took place on podcasts. Hold on, let me put my my equipment on Do Not Disturb. Hold on, sorry about that. I'm doing this in real time. Okay, there were conversations of Spin That is a good record, but it's not the best record because of this, and this. Whatever those answers was. Then people believe that Shebang may be the best record of the summer, but maybe not because of this, and this. Maybe it's too slow, maybe it's not more of a party bop, yada, yada, yada. They would say Spin That is not it because it hasn't gotten enough spins on radio, or, it's not really known that much. There's so many different answers. Y'all can put it in the comments what y'all thought beforehand. Now, tune in to today. Young Miami was at the BET Awards. Why she wasn't performing her record, we'll talk about that in a second. But she was announcing an award at the BET Awards. And when she walked out, this is a rare situation. When she walked out, they played the instrumental to her song Spin That. And as soon as they played that record, everybody started singing the chorus. Everybody in the audience, the celebrities, the fans, the executives, they stood up, clapped their hands, and started singing the hook word for word. It got so crazy that when they cut off the beat, the music, they still kept singing the hook. Young Miami was in there like, okay, I'm supposed to read this teleprompter, and everybody in here singing my record. So she like, okay, let me go ahead and groove. Then she stopped grooving. After a couple seconds, she stopped grooving. They still singing the record. So she started grooving again. I could only imagine how great that felt to Young Miami. We're talking about the same woman from the City Girls, one half of the City Girls. We're talking about the same woman who has been criticized for having mediocre music for the past couple of songs that she put out. We're talking about the same Young Miami that when she was on Instagram and she was playing one of her records, people were in the live like, nah, that's not it. Young Miami, that's not it. I'm sorry, sis, that's not it. Yeah, we're talking about the same woman who dated Puffy. I'm not getting into none of the Puffy trial. I'm not getting into none of the allegations. She wasn't found guilty of nothing. She was not found guilty of nothing. I'm not about to talk about none of that. So all you trolls on the platforms, miss me with all that. If y'all ain't got no true proof of anything that she's done wrong, I'm not even about to go there. Stop that. I'm talking about music only. Young Miami has definitely had her fair share of ups and downs with her music career. City Girls was popping at one time. Then, of course, they started to have differences musically and creatively. They went their separate ways. JT doing her thing. Shout out to her. Young Miami had to find her way into making some great music again. And she got one. Right now, she has the song of the summer. This record is going nuts. I need to see this record on Billboard. So everybody that's supporting this record, go for it. I'm happy to see that because we all know what it feels like. If you're a creator, you know what it feels like to work on so much music and not have the right record. And then all of a sudden, you find the right record and everybody loves you again. That's what I'm happy about for Young Miami, is that she found, I'm not going to say she found her sound. This is one part of her sound, which is a great thing. But she found a record that people can groove to and they're enjoying it. This is not a radio pushing it on us, so we gotta love it. No, it's not that. This is a walk into a brunch spot, walk into a club, walk into a strip club, walk into a shoe store, walk into a clothing store, walk into a barbecue, play this record, it's going to go nuts. Play this record in any place where it's warranted for good energy, it's going to go crazy. Not only that, it's not a just for women song. It's not a just for men song. It is a song for human beings that can relate to what goes on. It is a song for everybody. It got a good tempo you can dance to. Enjoy the energy to this record. Throw some money in the air. Yeah, do whatever the song say if you want. That's up to you. It's the song of the summer. Salute to Young Miami for powering through that. I made a blog a couple of months ago. Well, it was around when Spin That came out. And I made a blog. You can go back on my YouTube and go watch it. I made a blog and I said, I did a review. I did an actual review to a baby song. It was a the baby song, and it had all the girls. It had Young Miami, it had Glorilla, and they was in, it was a music video. They was in a skating ring. Great song, great video, up-tempo vibes. That's what the baby be on. And when it got to Young Miami's verse, she had a dope verse. She did her thing. I specifically stopped the video and I talked a little bit about what I feel like Young Miami should do in order to make better music than what she's been doing. And I'm not saying her music was bad. I'm just saying it wasn't as captivating. You can go on my YouTube and watch it. This is real talk. I talked about she should have records that are not slow tempo, no trap records. Do some mid-tempo to up-tempo records. Add a little bit of energy to your songs. Do something that's fun. Do something that's relative to how you feel about what's going on in life. Have fun. Everything ain't got to be about trapping this and, body parts this and vagina that. You ain't got to do all that. Do something that's relative that people can understand. I said this, go watch it. It's real. Because I understand as a producer myself, as an engineer myself, I understand what's required from certain styles of artists. Young Miami is not a lyricist. Young Miami is not trying to lyrically bar you down or whatnot. She is trying to relate her lifestyle of what she does to her fan base. She's trying to make songs that you can possibly enjoy while you riding in the car, while you at brunch, while you at the club. She made the perfect brunch record. If y'all want to keep it 100, this record is fun. It has a nice bounce to it. It really got a Bay Area bounce. So she actually took a different approach musically. And I said that in my previous YouTube video. I said, if you take a different production approach, because you got the lyrics, you doing your thing, sometimes it just takes for you to change your soundtrack for people to understand what you want. Sometimes it's just about, like, for instance, 50 Cent is an East Coast rapper, right? Follow me here. 50 Cent is an East Coast rapper. He was doing his thing on the mixtapes, dropping records. He was doing his thing. The minute he changed his soundtrack, which means the minute he changed the style of beat that he was rapping to, he was out of here. He was out of here. The minute he got with Dr. Dre and all you heard was, go, 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 shorty, it's your birthday. When he got to that, he was out of here. Why? Did he change the concepts of what he was rapping about? No. Did he change the way he delivered his lyrics? No. Did he stop cussing? No. Did he stop talking about guns and drugs and street life? No. He just changed the soundtrack at which you hear his voice on. The music became more attractive to listen to. Then he did it again, 21 Questions. Then he did it again, the record, I'm a Pimp or whatnot. He kept doing it. He kept doing it. Let me get some water real quick. That's what Young Miami did. She changed the soundtrack of her music. How you hear her now is a lot more fun, a lot more energetic. She doing her thing. Song of the Summer. Let me talk about this. There is some backlash. There is some backlash from the record. There are people talking about, what sometimes the more conscious, level-headed people would do. They're talking about, hey, we don't like that record. I can't believe you're promoting scamming. You're promoting crime. You're promoting people being scammed. You're promoting the same thing that keeps us down. I've seen a couple of videos on TikTok. I also read what India Irie had to say on Twitter. If you haven't seen that, go to her Twitter and read what she said about the Spin That record. She pretty much said these are the type of records that demean the value of what our black culture is and what our hip hop and R&B culture is. She doesn't like the record. She doesn't like what it promotes. And she feels like we need to be a lot smarter of the things that we put out there. She hates that the record Spin That from Young Miami is the song of the summer. She doesn't like that. Let me say this. With all due respect to India Irie, she is a queen. She is one of our R&B soul stars, legends. We love you, India Irie. We love what you've contributed to the music culture and everything. But I don't feel like you have the right to deem a record just because you have different views. I'm sorry. If you hate the record for your own reasons, that's fine. But don't try to put this stigma on Young Miami like she's doing something to destroy the culture. Stop that. Our hip hop and R&B culture is collectively put together by not only celebration but pain, not only happiness but trauma. It goes hand in hand. The reason why our hip hop and R&B soul music is the best music in the world is because we don't truly select what we feel like needs to be displayed to the people. We don't have a format of like, okay, you got to talk about this, do it this way and do it that way. The reason why you probably don't like this song is also the reason why you have the freedom to do the music that you decide to do. It is a direct opposite, and in a good way. It's a good opposite. Yes, you have records about love and relationships. Then you have records about sex. You have records about crime and drugs, and you have records about conscious ways to positively move in your community. To me, it's one and the same. As a fan of music, first off, I'll talk about it from a fan perspective, then I'll talk about it from a creator and me being a producer and also an engineer and a songwriter. First, as a fan of our music, there are songs that we listen to get different perspectives and also to process things that's going on in our community in different ways. All songs being quote unquote positive or conscious is not, in my opinion, is not conducive to our world getting better. It can help, but that's not the only thing. We need both sides. NWA was not only a great rap group, but they were also influential because they gave us the side that the media refused to show. All the oppression in the neighborhoods, all of the things that was happening in our neighborhoods that the rich people didn't see, that the other side of our boundaries in our community didn't see. We used hip-hop music to show that side, to let people know that these things are going on. They wouldn't broadcast young black kids getting killed by police. They wouldn't broadcast a school shooting that happened, that needs to be eradicated or changed around. They wouldn't show that. So we talked about it in our music. That's where the awareness came. Did it eventually go overboard to where sometimes artists do too much? We're talking about guns and violence and sex? Absolutely. You're right about that. But it's also an informative nature. You know what happens in the news when they talk about crime? Let me ask y'all, put it in the comments. Why do you think the news makes reports about crime? Do you think that they make reports about crime so everybody can say, hey, I can do that too and start doing it? Or do they make reports about crime to inform you on what's going on in your neighborhood? You let me know. Because when they do those think pieces about, hey, this ATM, these ATMs you got to watch out for, like make sure you check for the part where you put your card in because they might put a piece of equipment that can steal your money at the ATM. They do that. They do those think pieces all the time. They get ratings from doing think pieces. They get ratings for talking about serial killers. They get ratings for talking about what's happening in the community in a bad way. They're getting ratings, great ratings for that. But it's still informative. So at some point in time, we need that. Let's get back to the music. Let's get back to this Young Miami record and records of that ilk. Let's talk about Cash Money Records. Back That Ass Up. Back That Ass Up is a 100% vulgar type record. It's telling girls to drop it low when you dancing, back that ass up, do your thing. After you back it up, then stop. What? Drop it like it's hot. Okay. Do you not want that record to exist? Because it promotes women dropping it low and grinding and shaking, booty shaking? Do you not want that to exist? Or do you want the energy of when somebody hears dum, 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 dum. Oh, we finna go up, let's go. What you want? Records like that happen. Big booty hoes, pop with that. Hey, that's the style of music they want to do. Just like with India Arie, when she had her hit record, I'm not the other girls in the video, and I was telling about the shine of my clothes. We love that record. That record was not only a great record, but it was also informative. It's informative of the style of what you might want to see from the music that you're making. Nobody said, oh, that record was whack. We don't want to hear that, but we want to hear this. Nobody said, oh, we don't want to hear that conscious stuff. We want to hear this over here. So why is it that India Arie gets to get on Twitter and say, this is terrible, we're supposed to be doing this? When hip hop, R&B, soul is supposed to be one in together, all of it, everything, trap, drill, conscious hip hop, soul music, everything's supposed to be encompassed in one. That's what makes us great. Do you have a problem with high crime rates, drugs, high volumes of sex? If you have a problem with that, attack those situations head on for what they are. Don't attack the music for it. It's just my opinion. Don't attack the music because these things are happening, because guess what? If you turn the music off, drugs, sex, crime will still exist. To the rate of how much is totally up to what happens in every community. But don't blame somebody like Young Miami for having a song of the summer talking about scamming when scamming been happening 100 years before Young Miami dropped the record. There's TV series about scamming. There's movies about scamming. Why are we trying to bash Young Miami for this song where there's countless amounts of content, video, productions, TV, series that promote these same things? What are we doing? Let this woman have Song of the Summer. Can y'all do that? Let this woman have a successful record. Let her do her thing. I don't understand. And I love India Arie. And anybody that knows me knows that I love conscious music. I listen to that. I listen to conscious music. I listen to uplifting music more than I listen to anything that might be deemed ratchet or violent or whatever. Y'all know that. But I will not try to shun another style of music just to big up what I'm on. If y'all want to go to the clubs and twerk and go do your thing, have fun. Y'all want to go to brunches and play Young Miami, spin that and throw some dollars out the go yard bag? Go ahead. If y'all want to sit at the park and listen to some slow jams and jazz, be my guest. But it's all encompassed. It's all our music. If you want to be proactive, if you want to be active in changing our communities, let's be honest, it don't start with our music. It don't start with our music. It starts with our actions in the community. It starts with our actions in the community. So stop that. Stop getting on Young Miami for that. Stop that. I'm pretty sure some of the producers that India Irie has worked with has also made strip club bangers. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. You gonna stop working with them? That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day, let me just say this to close out. I don't want to talk too long. At the end of the day, a record that is successful will be successful for whatever time it is. But Young Miami song or any other song that becomes number one or for any reason a hit record, it's not raising the crime rate, so stop that. It's not raising the rate of people doing BS. Stop that. It's been happening. Even if these records are never created, it's still going to happen. So stop trying to blame the artists. Let the artist be an artist. That's what their job is. Their job is to talk about things and concepts that are unique and fresh to them. Young Miami has the right to write about anything she wants, just like India Irie had the right to write about whatever she wanted to. Do your thing. And I want to say this last thing. I want all the conscious artists, all the artists who we feel and they feel they're doing things right for our community. I want y'all to do one thing for me because I love y'all. But I want y'all to do one thing for me. I want y'all to work as hard as y'all can to be just as popular as the ones that you feel like are not doing justice on the music side. All y'all conscious artists with the great albums and the great introspective albums, great conceptual, lyrics, I want y'all to work triple and quadruple harder than the ones who are making what y'all claim is BS music. Why don't y'all work harder to become the superstars we want y'all to be? Work hard on getting y'all message out there as much as these ratchet artists get their message out there. Can y'all do that for us? If y'all want things to change, can you do that for us? Can y'all work as hard as y'all can to be just as popular as them? Because it's possible. It's possible. But sometimes y'all feel like it's some things I'm just not going to do. Okay, that's cool. Well, work as hard as y'all can to be just as popular because an artist like Kendrick Lamar did it. Kendrick Lamar is as conscious as they come. And he worked his a-hole off to become one of the best artists, to spread the good word. So I want all y'all conscious artists to do that for me because I love all the music y'all making. It's in my playlist all day. But what I'm not going to do is give all the other artists y'all deem ratchet or too violent. I'm not going to give them instructions to do something and change their ways or do some other stuff and not give the conscious artists instructions. Yeah, we need something from y'all too. We need y'all to get right too. Work hard to get your records number one so that can be the positivity can be the records that we have as number one. I need y'all to work just as hard. If that's what y'all want, because we want it, or well, at least I want it. So do me that favor. Y'all got instructions on what y'all need to do too. India Irie, hey, if you don't like Spin That, you don't like what Young Miami is saying, give us some of your music. I don't want to have to go find it. work hard to put it right in front of my face to make it as undeniable as spin that. Can you do that for me? Because I would love that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to have more of these talks. Because regardless of what y'all want to say, hip-hop is encompassing of it all. We got people that went through so many different things. We got people that went through violence. We got people that went through great times. We got people that went through college. We got people that end up having great families. It's all encompassing. Let's continue to have these conversations. I appreciate y'all hitting me in my comments and let's talk about this. I appreciate all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Workload.